fabulous wax, and I promise that as soon as we've got the dates for the reschedule, they will be in the room. I'm delighted now to welcome two members of Company B.
Hello.
Hello.
Matt and Dan.
Hi.
Or Dan and Matt.
The best way round.
Matt and Dan.
So, I was thrilled when the new album came through. We had a bit of problem with it to begin with.
Too powerful?
No.
No, not powerful enough. It was really quiet.
It was, we had some sound problems with the way Matt had sent the whole thing properly.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say the name of the system that he used to send it with, but it never works on radio. It's already compressed.
Yeah.
And then trying to play it through our desk, it compressed even further.
Is it Rubbish Cloud or something?
No, it wasn't. And poor Matt was listening at home and he's going, "What's going on? Can't hear anything." So we took it off. But then he sent it by a different format that I asked him for, and it's perfect and it's in the system. And because that's the trouble, not all of them. Some of them compress them so much that everything's lost before it gets anywhere. But I have referred to the new album as all killer, no filler.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's a good description, isn't it? It's a little bit longer than the last album. The last album was 30 minutes, and this is epic.
Yeah, you can answer
34.
Wow.
But that includes 13 songs, so our stuff's so short. But
yeah, I always get very sad about your tracks because it's
no good for DJs.
2.5 minutes. They're brilliant for DJs.
Oh, you can't even have a wee though.
Well, there is that, of course. You're a bit obsessed with the loo tonight.
Yeah, well,
what's the problem?
Issues.
No, they're perfect for radio play.
Yeah.
Because they're 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, which is the sweet spot.
But for me, I like long tracks, and most of, I've got two lined up there now. One's just over 4 minutes, the other one's 6 minutes. All local bands.
Yeah.
But with your stuff, it's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're all short and sweet.
I can remember going round to Matt's when I was in a band, and the first thing he said to me was like, and I turned up with like a 7-minute track, and he was like, "That's no good."
I like pop.
Nice.
I like pop music, you see. So I like pop. I think no need hanging around, is it? Don't bore us. Get to bore us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
If you haven't started singing by 30 seconds, you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
And because I do like long tracks, so I quite often when I play you on a Wednesday afternoon, I'll go, well, this one's 2 minutes 10 seconds, this one's 2 minutes 13, so we'll play two.
Yeah, that's probably better.
So then you get another extra penny from
Thank you very much.
Not a penny. But it's quite good really. The problem is live. It's like our set's about 38 songs or something.
Yeah, I was going to say you've got a huge amount of songs that you have to perform live. Yeah. Otherwise, you haven't got a full show.
No, it's difficult, and obviously, you look at some bands and they've got like
12 or something.
Yeah, 6 songs in the first set and drum solo.
Yeah, nothing live, aren't they? Yeah. Nothing to learn.
Yeah.
But it's great. Now, where was the last time I saw you was a festival, and what I love about you is that the fans who follow you still dress up to come to festivals.
We're very lucky, aren't we? We're very lucky.
They probably always have dressed up, some of them.
Yeah,
I think we are lucky. We played a couple of really good shows this weekend, last weekend. One down at Penley Park Theatre in Penzance. That was really good.
That was our first time, wasn't it?
Yeah, we hadn't played there before. We were booked to play there, and then it rained, and we ended up being in a church, which was not good at all. But we actually got to play outside, which is a lovely little theatre. Have you been to?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's a lovely little theatre, and it's really kind of homegrown and run by one guy pretty much called Dave, and he's labour of love, like all these great things are, like the radio here. And it was really lovely to play there, and then we played up in Bude on the Friday night, and they've got a massive jive dance scene, and they were all dressed up and dancing, and that was really great as well. So we are really lucky, still lucky, because we've done it a while.
Yeah, how many years is it now?
9 now.
Well, with you, Dan, it's not as long, is it?
No.
So what is it, 6, 7?
I took over from Ed 2013. Yeah. So end of 2012 I was learning.
Yeah. And the first gig was in Fairport now. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have been going as Company B since the 26th of January 2010.
Yeah.
I know that because it's the day after my birthday, and we had a rehearsal up at the college and just played through like 5 or 6 tunes and thought that might work, why not? But yeah, so 10 years next year.
And that's almost 2 years to the day after we started.
Yeah.
So I knew we were there for the beginning of you guys, because I remember coming to see your first ever gig.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, these are great.
Yeah.
We've not got anything like it.
It's different, isn't it?
And we still haven't.
No.
You know, nobody's followed you, have they?
No,
Thank God for us.
Yeah. I think that kind of like that retro, like, and kind of vintagey scene has got kind of bigger. So there are certainly bands that do a similar thing, and there are more of those bands than there used to be. So that kind of blues, swingy type thing has become more popular. We've been lucky in a way that no one's done it with as big a lineup. Yeah, so yeah, they will do one day, and then we'll retire and do something else. But at the moment,
no, it's hard to keep a band. How many members have you got now?
7.
Yeah, it's hard to keep a band that size together.
Yeah.
And motivated.
Yeah.
And able to do so many gigs, because there's no doubt that your diary is the busiest. I read out so many diaries every week, and yours has got to be the busiest.
We're very fortunate, aren't we? We've been fortunate in the sense that we don't have to chase gigs, and people tend to come to us, which is incredibly, it's a blessing. Something you say most gigs, in fact, is that we consider ourselves very lucky to be.
We're normally. I've got, for example, like today, I've just had 3 gigs confirmed today.
Wow.
For next summer, so I'll start putting that in, and that definitely is really lucky. But we've worked hard, and we still rehearse really heavily, and we still work, and that's why doing things like the album and always trying to move things on, just to keep it try and keep things a little bit fresh, and have some kind of bigger picture does help drive it on really.
Yeah.
We've got depths as well, which kind of cover. Me and Dan haven't got a dep. Either of us at the moment. We're looking into that.
Yeah.
But generally that kind of helps, because we've got
Yeah.
trombone dep, who'll play trombone and trumpet dep, and drums and double bass. So they come in and do the odd shows, which makes us a lot more kind of bookable.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's good, this band, even with bands who've only got 4 or even 3 people in them, they do struggle, because everybody's more or less got full-time jobs as well.
Yeah.
And this really is almost a full-time job for you guys,
absolutely.
isn't it?
I mean, I rely on it as part of what I do. I teach and I do all sorts of different things, but definitely the band is definitely a big part of what I do. And
likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of changed my when I joined. I sort of went from full contract work, which was I worked at the same job for about 10 years, to sort of leaving officially and going to bank. So it's an integral part of my life. Being it's a big part. I need the band to be busy. So, and it's fantastic that it is. Yeah, absolutely.
And you still look fantastic, all of you. You couldn't go out with and just wear ordinary clobber now, could you?
It's really hard. I think we sort of a bit.
We did one, didn't we? We did one.
Someone asked us to do one where we wore suits instead.
Or black shirt, wasn't it? Black shirt and trousers.
Yeah, it was a bit weird.
It was a bit weird.
Yeah, but yeah, it feels. I don't know. You just put it on, and then you're there, and I think, in a way, it's kind of easy, because then you don't have to think about what you're wear.
Yeah.
And other bands have to
be fashionable.
Arguments about it, and send stuff and say, what were you wearing that for? But it's easy. Not always easy to remember all of it. I do forget it occasionally, and Diston bails me out. Our sax player. That's it's really hard to decide how we can move that forward. And we've talked about it a lot, and the uniforms are expensive, and they're a bit of a pain to kind of keep looking all right.
Pristine,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
on a 3-gig weekend is pretty
hard,
tough. We got a 3-gig weekend coming up, so
Cassia Festival.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
So if they're looking a bit shabby by Sunday.
Well, we're in Kent
on Sunday.
No, that's really funny, because one of my comments when I was reading back and looking at your website in the week, I thought, at one time you were doing a lot of travelling up country, weren't you? It was like...
Yeah, it's never that much. It's generally always it's generally local.
It seemed that
Yeah.
when I used to read them out, you know, and I don't know, maybe 18 months ago,
Yeah.
and I kept thinking, I kept saying, oh no, you'd have to be up there for that. Oh no, they're not, and then they're back home.
Yeah.
So it seemed as if you were really going out. Lots of festivals.
I'm not sure it's like a premeditated thing, though, is it? We kind of let the
It's
diary
what comes in, really.
Yeah, the diary
You know,
decides itself, really.
As it happens.
We had a little while ago we were playing up in Watch It Festival, and that in itself leads to more gigs up in that area.
Of course it does.
So that's kind of, it's, you know, wherever you go, little seeds plant, you know, and people kind of see you and go, oh, will you do this? And we're like the A-Team, really. We'll go wherever we're called for, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just like the A-Team.
I've got hair.
I don't know bling.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, have you got the bling? That's the
Yeah, I
thing,
got the
isn't it?
bling.
Yeah.
A cigar.
We're going to play a track. Now, I haven't chosen because I thought you guys might like to choose what order we play them in.
Yeah.
Well, the
Dan?
boss wrote some.
I did write some. So what do you want to do? Do you want Charlestown?
Yeah, I think
so
that's a good
basically, there's a tune which is called Charlestown Stomp,
Yeah.
which is obviously dedicated to Charlestown, which is, you
Awesome.
know, we are
Local.
less than a mile away from it, I guess. So, and it's a little bit different for us. It's not like a swing tune as much. It's in musical terms, it's a straight tune rather than swung tune, and it's like a Charleston. So it's like a bit older than what we normally do. We normally do 50s style
Yeah.
stuff. This is more like 30s stuff.
And
which
I
is-
love it.
It's a little bit different.
It's probably my favourite tune on the album.
I didn't want
Yeah.
to say that, but it really
Sorry.
is. It's a fabulous track. And maybe it's because it's different. I don't know. They're all brilliant, but that one kind of stands out for me.
It was exciting to record in the studio,
Was
wasn't
it?
it?
It's
Well,
pretty
it was,
quick.
It's
yeah.
pretty quick.
Trouble is with John, our drummer, and I love John to bits. He gets excited, and everything is too quick. But then that's our style.
Yeah.
So that's part of what it's become. So
He does know time.
He does know time. Yeah, definitely.
You're doing it to John time.
Yeah,
John time.
definitely John time.
Which is a standard time.
So this is Company B and Charlestown Stomp, which some of my listeners have already heard because I've been playing it.
It's good.
It's a crazy little dance that the locals do. It's halfway from jitterbug to boogaloo. I was taught it by shaman in Kathmandu. It's a double time 4, but it's written in 2. Drink a quarter bucket, 90 proof, and drink down another till you're telling the truth. Following the woman with the gold cap too. We strike up the band and we're raising the roof. Pull your pants up, stand up straight, and swing from side to side. And get down low and spread your feet out wide. If you can't keep up, sit your ass down. It's a little liquor bar on the Midwest side, stuck between Jefferson and Ellen Drive. The Cantrell hurricanes will eat you alive. You might just down 4, but you're never down 5. Move yourself up into the maple
fabulous. Love that.
Thank you very
A
much.
lot. And congratulations, Matt. That's one of the ones you penned.
I did pen that. Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah. It's all right. No, it's good. Yeah. I mean, it's just about. We just had a few funny gigs in Charlestown, and obviously it's a pun on Charleston. But yeah, we like it down there. We used to play the Grashley every regatta, which we'll probably play next year, but we couldn't fit it in this year.
It's our spiritual home, isn't it?
Well, St Austell is definitely because that's where we still rehearse.
Is it?
Yeah, so we still rehearse there, and then and it's fairly central for everyone, with Dan being like in Liskeard, and Diston being in Helston.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like
sense.
trying to find somewhere in the middle, and somewhere
And Charlestown is, finding fame all of a sudden, because obviously that fabulous film with Ed Rowe in it was mostly 99% filmed in Charlestown.
I saw him filming it.
Did you?
And watched him filming it, and he came up and had a little chat.
Yeah.
But he's doing well, isn't it? It's really
great.
good. So yeah, I saw him
at Port Elliot the other day, actually.
Yeah. So put it in your diaries. I know you're really busy, guys, but I went to see the one in Weybridge, the preview screening last weekend, not this weekend, weekend before, and Mark Jenkin was there with the Q&A, and it's such a brilliant film.
Yeah, I'd like to watch it, definitely.
Yeah.
And the reviews, global reviews it's had, and you've obviously followed it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
it's
proud.
Really
And that you've gone and written a song about Charlestown.
Yeah.
They've done a film that involves Charlestown, and obviously Pole Dark and all the whole 9 yards. They're all filmed in Charlestown these days.
Yeah,
but I think particularly Bait, because it's got such a strong local cast, and it's so obviously Charlestown. They haven't taken anything away. There's no green screening or anything like that. It is as is, and it's just perfect.
It's a very beautiful place, isn't it?
It is stunning. If you can get in there, of course.
Yeah. I was just down there. I was
yeah.
literally down there like last week, and it was beautiful as always.
Yeah,
it's always lovely. Whatever time of year, I love Charlestown. It's so beautiful. So the album, how's it doing? And we must remember to tell people that it is actually called Let's Shake It.
It is called Let's Shake It. Yeah. It's doing pretty well. We got physical copies like last week. It took forever.
We had a bit of a bad luck, didn't we? Because we had an album launch, and then it was like the weekend it was going to come out. It rained, and 2 of our gigs, which would have been those launch gigs, were rained off.
Yeah, so Pencarrow got rained off, which was a real shame, because we've done Pencarrow now for probably 5 or 6 years in a row, and it's been great, and it's been building. And last year there were probably about 800 to 1,000 people there, so it's becoming a really big thing that we do every year. And it was last Friday or whenever, a week and a half ago. And
wasn't Boardmasters weekend, was it?
No.
Oh.
We got
it was another weekend.
We got cancelled on that as well.
Yeah, we had the Liskeard Ploughmans as well.
So it was a Ploughmans Festival in Liskeard. But it's just summer. Sometimes you just get them like that. I feel more sorry, to be honest, for the people organising them for us, because Boardmasters, we picked up another gig and then played on the Saturday at Watering Hole, and so it doesn't matter to us. It's just however bad our day is getting cancelled, it's nowhere near as bad as people
horrendous.
People trying to
taking such a hit on that.
Yeah, definitely.
I would have hated to have been around that table that day.
Yeah, and just
it's a nightmare, isn't it? It's a nightmare situation.
Yeah, I'd just switch my phone off, I think, and get in the bar.
Go cry.
Cry. Get the whiskey out.
Yeah. Turn it on in a week and a half's time. See how many missed calls I got.
Get all the abuse. But yeah, I just sitting around that table with all the advisors going, actually, the police
it's
said
really
no,
hard. Yeah.
Health and safety say no, the council is saying no.
And they
can't
do
go
it.
against it.
No, definitely. And their insurance would,
they'd never get insurance again, would they?
Yeah, and it's happened with the Friday at Tunes in the Dunes, and but it's really difficult. I do definitely feel for people that are trying to organise events in Britain in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it's thanks to them that we have somewhere to go a lot of the time.
Exactly.
They keep the dream alive for us. So and they're kind enough to book us in fantastic slots as well. So
that's really good. So we've got Cassia.
Yes.
Friday.
Are you playing on Friday?
We're headlining on Friday night.
And this is the festival. I think it's in second year.
No, first year.
Oh, first year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's Stydians, Showground.
but there's hardly been any sort of, I've not had any press releases or anything.
No.
About it. So I only had a band in the other day, and they said, "Oh, we're at the Cassia Festival." I went,
Sam
I don't even know what that is.
Richardson's there, isn't he?
Yeah, Sam's there.
Yeah. Yeah, and Good Old Fashioned Lover Boys on the Sunday night.
Yeah.
So I think the idea is it's trying to be like a family festival.
Yeah.
So they're doing really good family deal tickets, and then in the day there's all these like activities going on.
Yeah.
Which is really good that they kind of have done something different and done something, new, because I think there's a lot of these kind of little bespoke festivals that are kind of treading on each other's toes, and it's probably a fairly small feeding pool, and some of them do well and some probably don't, but it's good that they've gone, this is what we're doing.
It is hard though to find a different angle, for want of a better word.
Absolutely,
When you think, oh, let's do a festival, we want to be different.
Yeah.
Very
I suppose
hard.
they've looked at like that kind of camp festival idea, I guess, and gone for that sort of family friendly thing, which is really great. It'd be interesting. I'm really interested to see how well it does. And I know they sold out of the first allocation of camping, and they had to open up another allocation of camping. There's quite a lot of stuff by the roads, a lot of roadside signs and stuff down. I live in Redgrave, so around that neck of the woods there's a lot, and you see quite a lot. And they've done a lot of stuff online, but we'll see.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Looking forward to it.
Well, I'm sure it will, because the bands will seem to know about it. And, so tickets are going well. So.
Yeah.
But I'll get the website up later and discuss who else is on. But I do know Sam, and of course they're stoked because they're up at the Pilton party.
Yeah.
Just so happy for
Yeah.
them. They really worked hard for
good.
that. So it's great. And then of course the old ale house.
Oh, we've got
down
to try and
Truro,
squeeze into the
Saturday
old
night.
Yeah, that could be. You've been
That'll
there?
be warm.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Have we played there before?
No, we've never played there.
Right, so-
it's
Snug.
It's great. It's a great pub, and it's probably one of the. It's a real old school pub, and it's got a real fantastic atmosphere. Which it's not. It's got peanuts. Like peanuts all over the floor. So there's peanut shells all over the floor. Massive.
The dancing will be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be really good. I think it should be a really great night. It's just how we fit in there can be a problem.
We're always excited to go somewhere new, aren't we?
Yeah, we don't play Truro really. We have played Truro a little bit. Truro is.
There's not many venues anymore.
No,
is there?
it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? But I mean, we don't really get Truro. So, and obviously for a small pub, we're a big band. So, in terms of the members, and so we're kind of expensive really for that. So it's a bit of a risk to kind of take us on. So, bank holiday weekend should be alright. Saturday, Truro.
And we just had bank holiday weekend.
Oh no, it isn't bank holiday weekend, is it? Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Bank holiday
That was
weekend
last weekend.
Last weekend.
yesterday.
Did you all work last week?
No, we were gigging last weekend. Yeah. So it isn't bank holiday weekend, but end of the summer though.
But
Isn't it?
it's the end of the summer, and
Yeah.
I think because a lot of people will be going back to work, and the
Payday,
kids will be going
wasn't it?
back to school.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids will be going back to school next week, I guess.
Yeah,
You'd know better than me,
Thursday,
Matt.
something like
Thursday.
that,
So this might be the last weekend for everybody to be out having a party.
Cut loose. Come
Yeah,
out. Come and join
definitely.
us.
That should be really good.
Yeah.
And then you're off to Camp Wildfire
In Sevenoaks,
Have you done this one before?
No, they've wanted us for absolutely ages, but they kind of can't. We can't kind of ever get it together. It's a really exciting festival. It's like an adult kind of like scout camp. So grown-ups
This sounds amazing.
do scouting. So all day they'll do like archery and canoeing and abseiling and fire making and axe throwing. And all these things, and then in the evening they all enjoy themselves, and so it's really good. And we're playing just before kind of Craig Charles and stuff. So
Oh, nice.
I love it, Craig
quite
Charles.
good.
I'm going to stalk up Craig Charles.
Me.
I'm gonna-
Yeah, you look. Fight me for
Yeah.
Craig Charles. I just love him.
He's
so
good.
much.
just for Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, for all of it.
Yeah. So that should be really exciting, I think. And they want us to, because they all have to wear like scout uniforms. They want us to pimp up our uniforms with their scout uniforms.
Right.
Toggles and
I'm all down with that.
whistles and.
And badges. No, we've got badges, but we
Yeah.
sew them on. But so it's quite exciting. So we're playing there. It's an 11-hour round trip, but-
Which we love.
which we love. That.
We love that.
John makes us stop at every McDonald's.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we do have to factor in that.
Yeah. The
Other
drag.
stops
The
are
McDonald's
available.
drag.
Yeah.
They are
yeah,
available
Yes.
on the way,
Sorry.
en route. That's a long old trek. But again, you'll probably get more gigs off it.
Yeah, and it's
That
exciting,
way.
you know. And we just sort of put it out there, and if people buy into wanting to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we're pretty open to it, aren't we, really?
yeah.
Well, I think with the kind of thing you do, you're going to have like really random festivals looking at you and going, here, let's get these guys up and see what they do.
Yeah, and it's definitely like we are a bit more quirky for certain things, and
and
we
great
like,
party sound.
Yeah, we like to do a bit more of it, but yeah.
So right, we're looking at the next track, which is the title track of the album.
Yeah.
Let's Shake It.
Yes, indeed. We did a video for Pirate FM. Other radio stations are available.
Like this one.
And more bespoke.
More bespoke.
we did that. We did a video for that, and they would kind of release that for this track, and then this is like the title track of the album. It's another song I wrote, which is I just think of these stupid stories in my head and then write songs about them. Yeah, so they just come out really.
Well, they seem to work.
Yeah.
Where did the melody come from?
Oh well, it's what John Mitchell, our drummer, used to sing and still does sing actually for his sound check. So he used to sing this stupid tune, which then I kind of stole it and then wrote it. Wrote the song around his melody. But he wants a ridiculous amount of royalties for it. It's not called Johnny.
Is he going to get them?
Well, we've come to an
arrangement.
arrangement.
5 biscuits.
Yeah.
5 biscuits.
No. He's a co-writer officially.
Oh, okay.
With the Performing Rights Society, so he is a co-writer. Although I seem to have written the lyrics
and all the music
and most of the melody, but that's fine. So it's just a funny little thing, really. Sometimes we like to do things which are like a little bit outside of what we normally do, and sometimes we do things which are kind of really standard, and it's kind of a fairly standard kind of jump drive tune, really.
Yeah.
Mid-tempo.
Enjoy. This is Let's Shake It from Company B.
Our heads. But then she whispered something like a 20-pound sledge hammer to my legs. She asked me if I'd ever played hide and seek. My tongue got tied and I couldn't speak. I tried to run but my knees were weak. Thought of taking on the cracks of the creek. But it's Saturday night, let's shake it. I got a brand new bed, let's break it. I give you one last chance. It's Saturday night. A bottle of scotch, made a deal with the devil and let me watch. Grip my tight like a mama Sasquatch. My moves were just top notch. Before I could think, well, I started to sink into the haze of another drink. Contracts were signed with blood as ink. She said you keep it secret and give me a wink. But it's Saturday night, let's shake it. And if you don't feel it, fake it. I'll give you one last chance. Saturday night. But it's Saturday night, let's shake it. I got $100 bill, let's break it. I'll give you one last chance. It's Saturday night.
Shake It. And that was another one that you penned.
Yeah, I wrote that. I'm trying to write a few more. It's difficult to write them because obviously we it's really hard to kind of, the bar is so high in terms of the quality of the tunes that we do, not how we do them. We're very poor, but
the people that originally
did them, we love them so much. I love them so much. I'm really kind of, I find it really difficult to just write stuff. If we didn't do any covers, it'd probably be easier. But because we do, we do like Just the Gigolo by Louis Prima. It's like, I
can't get rid of that.
Well, yeah. So it's really hard. But I'm trying to write a few more. I've got a couple that I'm writing at the moment.
So 6 more years and we will have another
full album. Yeah.
But actually, on that note of you writing and the bar set really high from the stuff that the covers that you do, it's hard to tell the difference between the ones you've written and the ones that you're covering.
Yeah,
that's very kind. That's the dream, isn't it? That's absolutely what you want.
And it's seamless.
Well, I want I want them to be as good as the ones we do, and that's why it's so difficult, because you get, you got things like Choo 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 Boogie and Pennsylvania 6-5.
I know. How do you top that?
Yeah, so you're up against these tunes. It's like being a Beatles tribute band and chucking in some of your own, and it's like it's a bit arrogant, unless they're okay, and and hopefully they're okay, and we try and and I've been in lots of bands before, and my songwriting's wasn't really in that style at all, so it took me 2 or 3 years before I felt knowledgeable enough and good enough to be able to even just write anything.
From a perspective of somebody who's in the band with you, your songs always for me are up there with some of my favourite of the songs we do, and that it's no need to blow smoke, but that is how I genuinely feel.
Well, it's nice. I mean, I think because we write something and we're not just covers, we do. Yeah. It does make us a little bit different, and that's and because we still play 4 or 5 of them every gig, and that feels as though for me it's a little bit kind of more creative than just being a covers band. Obviously, the majority of our stuff is cover versions, but yeah, we try and like put a bit of that stuff in. And it's something that I'd like to do. I would love to carry on doing that, and it's just nice because it means that I can write something stupid and then I've actually got an outlet to play it,
and then you just put music to it.
Yeah, and as long as it kind of keeps the dance floor going and doesn't kill it, I'm happy enough with that.
And you would soon know that.
Yeah, and it's also our stuff as well. Like most of the other tunes that we play aren't famous anyway, so you may as well get the crowd learning one of your tunes instead of learning one of someone else's. Maybe.
Yeah. I think it'd be really interesting to see like a company be full originals album.
Yeah.
I think it's just time, isn't it?
Maybe we'll start with EP.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so that was one of my questions actually. I know it's difficult and there's a lot to do with finances and time and all the rest of it, but it's been a long gap between album 1 and album 2.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things in play in terms of why it took so long. We transitioned from I took over from Ed Hart, so there was a long period of like, and we did that first album in that early stages, didn't we? It was done quite soon after I sort of joined, and then
that was recorded basically in like 6 days or something.
Yeah,
that first album with John Cornfield, and it was great, and it was really good to just do that,
bang through it. Yeah,
and that was just kind of like really that was just a sketch of where we are, and it gave us some stuff to sell at gigs and all those sorts of things, but we've improved a lot since then, because we've kind of done it a lot, and also it's kind of because we had more time to do it, we could kind of be a lot more expansive about how we were going to record it. So the drummer John was bringing in all these weird bits of drum kit and all these weird extra bits and bobs in, and then Dan, instead of feeling rushed to do the vocal, we kind of didn't set a time limit on it, and it kind of felt better to do that. Obviously at some point there was a point where we had to sort of stop, and I would have wanted to go forever. I could have tinkered with it forever and ever and ever. Yeah, I think you have to stop at some point, and then if not, it's by the time.
Well, there'll never be an album if you don't stop.
Well, that's what happened with Radiohead, isn't it? They had to be locked out of the studio, or else they wouldn't have finished OK Computer.
I think it's a musical illness, isn't it? The desire to tinker forever and ever, and once you start the trail for perfection, you actually open a can of worms for like where do you leave it?
And
Yeah.
sometimes there's some albums that I love that are just they've got that bit of a rough edge to
Bit of
them,
energy, yeah.
and it's just why go for perfection? Sometimes an album is perfect, and
'Cause
the
of the-
people who've recorded it don't even realise that.
Yeah.
And I think that's
No.
hard, that is it's so true, because it's really hard when you're doing it to like see the wood for the trees, and you get lost in this kind of just
The detail. don't
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many versions of these songs that from this album. I've got hundreds of I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours doing variations of Fever and other things, and it could have just.
But I think once it's out, isn't it? And
Yeah.
and certainly you stop, you stop kind of looking at the little details and worrying about them, and then you just play it as a whole body of work, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And
So
you're not
who
worried.
recorded it for you this time?
I did it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did
So
it. Dan
you-
did tracked a lot of his vocal, but not all of it. But
Yeah.
half of it probably.
We did it. Matt sat very patiently and like helped me kind of.
We did it all over the place as well. So
Yeah.
we did it in all sorts of different places because I've got kind of a mobile recording setup. So we did some drums at Cornwall College up in St Austell. We did some drums at Martin's Work
Slash studio.
down at the bottom of Part or St Blazy, whichever one it is. And then we did some at the band room in Polkhive, that's Mount Charles band room, and so all this different stuff, and then loads of stuff at my house, and then at Dan's house, and
It must have taken a long time doing it that way.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
because you're
it's-
trying to fit it around playing, aren't you?
yeah, we're
Performing
gigging all
and-
the time, so obviously we're trying to, and we're all busy people, but we haven't got, if we're gigging 3 times a week, and then we're rehearsing in the midweek, and then we haven't got a limitless amount of time that we can
No.
just give up to it, and we definitely wanted to have time. So we wanted to, I wanted to have time. If I had a guitar solo to do, I wanted to spend like some decent amount of time going over it and making sure it was decent, and I think we all felt like that, really. We all felt that we wanted to do that,
Yeah.
and we wanted to give it the amount of time that it deserved.
Because the ethos for the first album was to try to not try to recreate that sound without too much studio tomfoolery. So like when you're recording an album, you can infinitely play with it, can't you? But when we did the first one, it was just like, let's try and keep to some rules, have some
Yeah.
rules, and like keep to that, and try and make it as true to what we did, and that is what that album is. It's like a sort of, like you say, like a snapshot of that period
Well,
of
it's
time.
live, really. At
Yeah.
that point.
But with the two then, and without John in the picture, and going back to what you were saying about, you kept tweaking it. At what point did you decide, right, this has got to stop? Because when somebody like John is in the studio, he'll tell you,
Yes.
this
Yeah.
has got to stop.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Normally,
Yeah.
that's when the money runs out. so and then
Right, that's it now.
So
you're
so
done.
there wasn't that level of pressure. Obviously, it was kind of like we sort of had a big meeting around Christmas time, sort of our AGM, really, Company B AGM, which we do have occasionally. Not everything gets done that's on the list, but we try. And it was like, well, we need to really have some stuff, because we basically sold out. So our first album sold out. So we haven't got boxes of them in our garages.
No.
We sold it, and that's really
Which is
great.
unusual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've got boxes of other bands. I've put in CDs in the garage. So, so it was really lucky with that. But it was kind of, we probably had been sold out for like 2.5, 3 years or something like that.
Yeah.
People kept asking us. It's like, we're gonna have to have something to sell them.
Yeah.
And actually, so it was kind of like, we got to kind of Christmas last year and kind of went, right, we've got to get this out this year. And I know, because basically you're just, there's no point releasing an album by the time you release it if there's no one who's interested in buying it,
No.
because
No.
everyone's like lost faith, and and definitely there still is an appetite for people to buy it. So, but we wanted to really hit the summer really with it, which we almost did.
Yeah. we were close, weren't we?
The weather was against you, though.
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, so it's really important that we kind of definitely drew a line under it and said, okay, I made this big kind of spreadsheet and I had this kind of target of what I needed to record it by when, and I started to tick off things, which is what they do in studios anyway.
Yeah.
They have a great big often a whiteboard, and they just go, this song, have we done the backing vocals for that? And they'll start ticking stuff off with this big matrix. So I had that on my computer.
We could get like a percentage finished.
Yeah.
And that drives you forwards, doesn't it?
And then halfway through I thought, oh, I've got a really good guitar for that. So then I had to like delete that, and it went down. It was like, oh. It's like when you're on a diet and then you put weight back on, you're like, what's that? So yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, so it's like that really, but definitely we felt as though it had to stop, and then once we stopped it, it's out there and you don't worry as much about it, and then you can think about doing something else. So it's just putting it to bed, isn't it? At a certain point.
But I have to say, when you messaged me and said you got a new album, I cheered because. I mean, you're so popular, and I play you all the time, and lots of other presenters play you all the time. And every time I go and look down the list, I think, I'll play Company B tonight, or a couple of tracks on a Wednesday afternoon. And I think, I need to find something different.
So
it's
there's only
great
10 tracks.
we've got a whole new album of different stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we really wanted, I think we wanted tracks to sound really different from each other.
Yeah.
And we wanted them to spend a lot of time thinking about how they were going to sound different. So we've got like, Fever, which is like the slowest and mellowest thing that we play, and then we've got a song like I think you're going to play, which is like Clap Your Hands, which is you're going to play later on. But that's pretty much got no music apart from like bass and a bit of drums and stomping.
All the way up to like full instrumentation. Yeah. Like this cat and
this. Yeah, so this Cat's on Hot Tin Roof has got extra horns that we recorded on top of the normal horns that we've got, the normal 3. So it's a much more of a big band sound.
Yeah.
And we did that with a couple of tunes where we made them kind of more big bandy by adding things. We've got somewhere a New Orleans Funeral March, which has got tuba, clarinet, 2 trombones, like loads of stuff, and John hitting every piece of percussion he could find in Mount Charles Band Room. And there's a lot of percussion in Mount Charles Band Room.
Yeah, I bet.
So yeah.
So we're going to go now with the one you just mentioned, This Cat's on a Hot Tin Roof.
On a hot tin roof and drinking that whiskey, 96 proof. Don't have no doctor, don't feel no pain. It's just 2 steps ahead of my brain. This cat is on a hot tin roof. This cat is gonna shake it loose. This cat don't get the blues. This cat shaking on a hot tin roof. This cat has been out on the town. I'm the cat's meow. I'm the king of a crown. My head is spinning. I got the shakes. I can't stop now. 'Cause I got no brakes. This cat is on a hot tin roof. This cat is gonna shake it loose. This cat don't get the blues. This cat shaking on a hot tin roof. On the prowl, this cat's on a hot tin roof, jumping up and down like a long-necked goose. Shimmy and shake, baby can't fail. Rocking so hard that it's off the scale. This cat's on a hot tin roof. This cat is gonna shake it loose. This cat don't get the blues. This cat shaking on a hot tin roof. This cat is on a hot tin roof. This cat is gonna shake it loose. This cat don't get the blues. This cat shaking on a hot tin roof.
Brilliant, and I just love that big band, punchy, brassy. It's amazing.
That's the lovely distant driver, Andrew Blewett and Martin Sanders.
Yeah.
The Cream Corner.
That's their name. Yeah. No, they we added a few bits and bobs as extra trumpet on that, and some alto sax on, as well as a couple of tenor saxes, a couple of trombones. So just trying to make it sound bigger. It's a Brian Setzer orchestra tune. That is scary thing to try and play.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, it's quite hard to play. So, but it was really, we worked really hard on trying to make it sound as big bandy as possible. Because normally we have to reduce these big band arrangements so that we can try and play them with the 3 horns that we've got. Because Brian Setzer's got
all of them,
6 trumpets and like 12 saxes and 4 trombones. Well, yeah, massive band. So he goes out with a massive band. So,
but we're very lucky in the sense that we probably have like, I don't want to be like over, but they're like our horns are awesome.
Yeah,
our horn boys are awesome.
Yeah, they're good.
And that always has been an awesome part of Company B as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we never. And people ask us sometimes if we can, to make it cheaper, whether we can go out without full horns and.
It's not.
No, but we never do it because it's just not right. We did one gig once where they wanted us as like a 5-piece with just a sax, and then after doing it and trying to do all the arrangements with just one sax, we sort of said to ourselves, we'll never do that again. So you just got to go out with everyone, or else there's no point going out.
No, and also apart from the fact that you're leaving some of the guys behind, and things have to be changed. So people don't understand that when they throw a question like that at you, do they?
No.
You can't just go out and play the same thing and just leave those guys behind.
No, they're the power.
Yeah.
In a horn section, everyone in the horn section adds a different thing. So trumpets at the top add in all that really kind of sharp, kind of brassy cut to stuff, and then the sax kind of smooths it over, and then the trombone adds like all the bottom end, or other words beginning with B. Yeah. So it kind of, but unless you've got that all put in place,
it's weird, isn't it?
It doesn't sound right. So
you can't miss any of them, really.
Got to be all 3 of them, really.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that there's more and more bands not following what you guys do or the music that you do, but lots of bands now going out with the brass.
Yeah.
It's really popular, and I'm so pleased about
it. It looks
that.
like a good thing. It just sounds good, and to be honest, keyboards are good, but they can't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like keyboards will never sound as good as brass.
They're very brass, like full brass is real sexy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's really sexy.
Yeah,
it really
not
has. I mean, obviously not ours, but no, it is. It's like
it's just a big sound, and I think definitely, like if you scrimp on that stuff, you just can't do anything. It's really tough, and anyone who depths for us, and we have MJ from Motown Pirates.
Fantastic.
Playing trombone is great, but he's like at the end of doing a gig with us, he's like, oh, that's tough, like because there's hardly any gaps. So I mean, they're playing all the time, and that's 90 minutes and 38 songs. So
we had to do we normally do 2 sets. We had to do
we did the watering hole. We did an hour and 40 straight. And it was
that's a long time.
Yeah,
for us it was, wasn't it?
Too long. We were not match fit.
No.
But then if you're playing football, you'll have a little
break, a little
in the middle after 45 minutes. So normally we do 45 minutes and then have a little 20-minute break and a little sit down. And then kind of go back at it. But for some reason there was no time to do it, and we had to run it 3 straight, and it's like.
Uniforms were looking tired that night.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were messed up.
Man. Yeah, busted up.
It's really hard. I think what happens is you just lose focus of what you're doing. And even if you see a big band, so even if you saw like the Rolling Stones or a really massive band in that, they wouldn't be like full on all the time.
No.
They'd have a little acoustic bit or
you suddenly realise all 3 or 4 of the band had disappeared.
Gone off.
But they do it so well.
They're on the oxygen.
But,
probably Rolling Stones one worse than that even. Helium.
Yeah.
There was a very famous band who came down to Crinnis, 2 or 3 times, and one of the main guys was running off on the old oxygen.
Yeah.
After every song.
We've seen
every song.
Haven't we? We've seen it backstage at various festivals.
Yeah, of course.
Angus Young does it.
Does he really?
Well, he probably does now because he's about 80, but
Yeah.
But he used to do it even when he was like in his 20s. He used to
Can get some oxygens.
Yeah.
And it's all free out there anyway. You can just breathe it in.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not the
it's
good
easier to
stuff.
get it out of a canister. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
More pure, isn't it?
More pure.
So we've got another one now. Clap your hands.
This was kind of a weird one for us, wasn't it? Because we didn't add it. It was one of the last ones we added to our set.
Yeah, and it's
Before the
one of the
album.
last ones we recorded as well. We recorded a little set of tunes last, and this was one of them. And it doesn't really involve a drum kit. It involves just a bass drum, and then loads of clapping, and then loads of vocal. That's what it's got really. But it's quite a wacky tune. It's originally done in about 1948 by a guy called Lucky Millander, who is a band leader, and it's quite an unusual tune. We play it live. The audience cannot clap in time. It's the most,
Which aggravates our
it's the
drummer
most
to no end.
it's the most off-putting thing. And you try and get them to clap, and they cannot clap. All they've got to do is go 1, 2, 3. Just clap on 2 and 4.
Yeah, but you see they've been drinking.
Oh.
Do you know what though? You had to train me up to clap on 2 and 4.
Yeah,
I
that's
still
fair enough.
probably can't do it.
But yeah, it was an absolute nightmare. And sometimes like we have to stop them.
Does John not go out the front and go, right, come on, let's do
Yeah,
it?
he tries it, but then they don't stick to it.
No.
There's a video of the famous blues guitar player Keb Mo, if you know Keb Mo a little bit. He's an amazing blues guitar player. And he tries to get the audience to clap, and he goes, okay, so if you guys can clap with me, and he gets them to clap, and then they start going out of time, and they start speeding up.
Does he have to change his drum into it?
No, he just tells them to shut up. Yeah, it's good. So sometimes we're like that, it's a nightmare, but you just hear it just sounds like a load of horses clip-clopping along.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's share it with the listeners.
We hopefully are in time.
Hopefully. Oh, you are, because I've listened to it.
That's right.
Clap your hands, and when you get that feeling, it will drive the blues away. Clap your hands, the beat is so appealing. It will drive the blues away. Far away, far away, far away, far away. That a rhythm beat will drive the blues away. Clap your hands, and while your head is reeling, you can drive the blues away. Clap your hands, and when your feet are stomping, you can stop your blues away. Clap your hands, and if you feel like jumping, you can jump the blues away. Far away, far away, far away, far away. That a rhythm beat will drive the blues away. Clap your hands, and when your heart starts pumping, let it thump your blues away. Far away, far away, far away, far away. Clap your hands, and when your knees are knocking, you can knock the blues away. Clap your hands and keep your body rocking. You can rock the blues away. Far away, far away, far away, far away. That a rhythm beat will drive the blues away. Clap your hands, and while you have that feeling, you can drive those blues, drive those blues, drive those blues away.
Fabulous. Company B, clap your hands. And I was just saying to the guys, you wouldn't think that would be that difficult.
No.
It really is. It breaks people's brains.
And we just say, just follow when we're clapping, and they just look at us, and then, I don't know. Someone very philosophical once said, there's 2 types of people in the world. There's people that clap on the 2 and the 4, and then there's idiots.
And who was that someone, Matt? Was that you?
Probably James Brown. So it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Oh, I've cut my head here.
What?
Dunno.
Bless you.
Oh, no. Right.
Oh,
We'll move on.
one thing that I've been told to point out, we have a website and we are on Facebook.
I know.
So you can find
We're
us.
going to do that in a minute because I'm on your website.
Beautiful.
We're going through the diary. But first of all, before we go any looking further at the diary, I have one question I haven't asked you about the album. How did you decide what went on there?
Oh, it's hard, isn't it? Well, it's difficult actually because it's. Well, I can't really remember how we decided it, but there's of our back catalogue of tunes, we did probably the first time round we did like some of our favourite tunes with your ones, and then some new tunes got added to the sort of selection of tunes that we play. But it's a combination of lots of things, and like you said, you want that eclectic sort of.
Yeah, we wanted to kind of have a little bit of a wider thing really going on, and also there are some songs in our set that I wouldn't ever want to record because the original versions are too good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't record
Gigolo.
Just the Gigolo because it's the best song ever recorded by any person.
That answers that then, because I could never understand why it wasn't on the first album.
Because
it's our favourite
Louis
tune.
Prima is too good to copy, and I wouldn't do My Baby Just Cares For Me.
That's another one.
Because Nina Simone
is too good.
Is too good to copy, and
fair enough.
you're just. I think it's okay if you do something completely different.
Yeah.
And do it in a completely different style. And I'm not saying that people's versions of those tunes aren't good, but I wouldn't touch them. I wouldn't record. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Honest.
I wouldn't do that either.
Clip this out for when album 3 comes out.
No, I mean,
that is absolutely honest, and that's that.
I think there's a point where you think, well, actually, like, let's try and do something different so that we don't sound exactly the same as kind of what what the original is. If you're re-recording the original and just trying to copy it and then being worse than it, there's no point.
No.
There's no point in anyone going on Spotify to listen to it, or they might as well listen to
the original.
the original because it's just better. So that's how I felt about it. And then obviously, there were some new tunes which we wanted to do, but something like Clap Your Hands, for example, is there because I really like it, but also because it is a different thing on the album. It's a different sound. It's got a totally different idea behind it.
So did you have any sort of disagreements in the band about what was going to go on? Was there anybody really wanted to get a track recorded that?
There might have been. I don't listen to them. Mate.
No.
So I wouldn't have heard them.
Well, we're run as a dictatorship.
Right, I was just going to say.
With a benign dictator, which is.
I wonder who that might be. Any clues, Matt?
No.
I certainly won't be talking about it.
No. I mean, I think at some point with this stuff is you have to have someone with
an idea, direction.
An idea.
Yeah.
If not, and we've
someone's got to steer it.
If not, you end up with like this kind of democratic vote about what songs we put on. It'd be like, okay, this song's got 6 votes. This song's got 3 votes.
And we have done that.
It doesn't never work.
And it's not good. You can't do it, can you? It doesn't work really.
No.
But I think we're probably all pretty happy with the choice of songs. And of the songs that aren't on, we've still got some great tunes in our set that if we ever wanted to do another thing, there's some stuff that we would be quite happy to put on another album. But these just sort of, these are some really interesting and diverse tunes to sort of have picked.
Yeah, and I think it kind of, definitely, like Dan probably didn't want to record Fever.
No.
But it feels as though
it's
the album needs
it's
a big tune in it. Fever's alright in it, but it acts as like a little bit of a lull, doesn't it, in the album when you've had all that really, all of our songs are really quick and really short,
and they're also very upbeat and happy.
Yeah. So it's good to have something.
A happy sounding band, aren't you?
Yeah.
In fact, Fever and Good Morning Judge were the last to be recorded, and they were vocally and mentally like just troublesome, weren't they?
Yeah.
I had to sit. You didn't see this, but when I was recording Fever, I was in my front room, and I had Beth there, and she was listening to me doing it, and I had to sit and listen to like really strange tunes to kind of get myself like mentally in the place to do it. I had to listen to like Feist, which is a really very gentle. The tracks from The Reminder, and like I was just sitting like trying to sing those so that I was like in this vocal place to kind of do them, attack them in the right way.
Yeah, definitely. But it's kind of just having that like variety really, which is the difference with this album, is that we've got it kind of it doesn't sound as much like us live.
No.
But it kind of we've done that, and we don't really want to do that again. So it kind of gives us that chance of playing around a little bit, but still sounding authentic. Because it's got to sound old school, really.
Yeah, but also, I mean, it is a good, solid studio album.
Yeah.
You've done
Everyone else who records stuff does that, don't they? They spend all this time and they make, and we wanted to see if we could do that, didn't we? We wanted to see what happens if we spent a long time crafting and putting something, a lot of time and energy into something.
And next time we might just completely break that, rather than just do it in 2 days or something.
Well, we had a fantastic experience recording at Cube Studios with Gareth and Ross, and that session is for the time that we spent doing it. We banged through that one tune. That was really good, wasn't it? It was really nice to kind of go in and go. It's nice to be nice to play with other people who are like professional enough that you can go in and just go. We got 3 goes, do it, and out it comes, and that was good.
And the running order, because it runs really well.
Yeah.
That was a very considered thing, wasn't it? Actually.
Yeah, I think that's really hard. I always kind of knew
the ending.
I knew the ending. I knew the first tune, and then I knew roughly what I wanted to put where. And then there are certain things that you kind of have to change. So, for example, there are lots of songs that are in the key of like C. There's about like 4 or 5. There's a few that are in F, and it's like they need to kind of be away from each other, or else they just all these songs that are in the same key. It just sounds like the same song, one after another. Raw, for example, is in F, and Jim Jam Jump's in F, and if you put them right next to each other, it just sounds like it's sort
of flows
the same
it.
song.
Yeah.
So there was bits like that to think about, bits about tempo to think about, it's quite interesting how that kind of worked. But you can, back in the day it was a lot harder than it is now, which is now in iTunes you can just flip them up in different orders and play them and then burn them on a CD or have them on your phone or whatever and try it out and see if it starts to sound right. And when I was a kid I was always really excited by, I always thought second tracks were like really important.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There were some albums where I just thought that the second track is like the most important one.
I think we grew up in that era where you listen to a CD and you listen to it front to back, and I used to listen to tapes, and you reach that halfway point. We didn't even think about like if we had it on a record, did we?
Yeah.
But like that thing where you go, right, what do we end on side A? What's the beginning of side B on a tape?
I think that's really interesting, isn't it? Because like they had people who were making records in that era had another chance to like start again.
Yeah.
And make something completely different. And they have 2 endings, don't they, as well? There's 2 beginnings, 2 endings.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting doing that. One day it'd be amazing to do vinyl, but
it's a frightening prospect, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
amazing
also
and very fitting.
Yeah,
for what you
we'd
do.
love to. Yeah.
The money doesn't quite
Cost.
stack up.
No.
Yeah, and it's like it would just be pretty much a vanity project if we did that.
I think it because all the local bands I know that have done, and they really want to do vinyl. I know you really want to do
I've been
vinyl.
pressing for it for a long time.
Yeah, but it is hard because it's the finances, and it really, that's the thing that you actually look at it and you go, actually we can't do it.
Yeah, I mean it's also you kind of got the amount of people that want to buy it, and there's a lot more people that'd be excited to look at it than they would to buy it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same with
it would be one of those we've talked about in the past about having these like moments where we fulfill our little goals, and for me one of my goals would be to have something on a record.
It's your bucket list.
Yeah, and but we have had a lot of those moments fulfilled.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean we can do it. We always design the CD so it looks like a record.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've both of our CDs have got that on it. I didn't bring you a CD. I'll bring you. Have you got one, Dan?
No.
In the car?
No.
Oh.
I did specifically ask about it.
No, you said should we bring it? Okay, let's not have an argument.
Right, pack the band up.
Okay, it's fine. So yeah.
So we need to choose another song, guys, because we haven't got any lined up now.
Well, Dan.
I've been saying it, but
what one?
about
Bartender.
Bartender.
Put it on, but which one is it, Dan? Because we've got 2 of them on
we've
here.
We've got 2 on here.
I don't know.
I reckon it's the one that's 153. 253.
258.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, try that
one. Should we give it a go then?
Yeah, and see if it's right.
Hopefully this is the right version of Hey
Looks
Bartender.
like it is.
Does it? It looks like it is.
Feels
How
like
can you tell from there, Matt?
It's the writing. I don't know.
The writing is all the
If we
same. It's the
play
same
it-
font. Let's play it and see.
Yeah, if we pull it down.
I went ballin' the other night. I started drinking and got real tight. I blew each and all my friends. It felt so good, I have to blow it again. I say, hey, bartender, happy man, looky here. Draw one, draw two, draw three, 4 glasses of beer. I saw a chick sitting on the end. I said, baby, come on, let's be friends. You're looking sweet as you can be. Well, come on down and have a drink with me. I said, hey, bartender, happy man, looky here. Draw one, draw two, draw three, 4 glasses of having so much fun. I didn't know it was 1:30. I sat down to have one more. I looked at the clock and it was almost 4. I said, hey, bartender, hey man, looky here. Draw one, draw two, draw three, 4 glasses of beer. Playing and everything. All the cats began to sing. I heard somebody call and said, last round for alcohol. I said, hey, bartender. 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 Draw 1, 2, 3, 4 glasses of beer.
Perfect. And we had the right version.
That was the
That was good. I like that tune.
The whole time that was playing, you were trying to figure out how the heck we had another version of it from
I
Company
don't know
B.
what that is.
There's an inside man.
Oh, yeah, I've got some little sneaky things here. I can see them. I can see Pencil Full of Lead
Yeah.
and Jump Jump Well. I can see all them.
Yeah.
That'll be
Who's doing it?
Eddie Hart.
Oh, Eddie Hart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was long before you then.
That was before me, so that'd be pre-2012 or pre-2013.
Yeah, we have had them a long time.
Yeah.
But they do still get rolled out. Are you still playing Pencil Full of Lead? Like?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
still play it. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, it's been in the set
Fantastic.
for the entire time I've ever been in the band.
Well, there are a few things that have kept. We are going to have a little look at set in
Yeah.
the next.
Don't take Pencil Full of Lead out.
No.
Anything's up to go.
I got it wrong for the first time ever, like 2-3 weeks ago, didn't I?
Oh. That was
Blank.
the end of that 1 hour 40.
Yeah. It's one of those songs where, like, it's so fast,
Yeah,
and if you go wrong,
you've lost
where
it.
do you go back? Where do you get in? It's like a slow rap. It's hard.
Yeah.
So what did you do? Just kick them off?
I just looked blank at the stage, did a little cry.
Yeah. Fine.
Right, so we're on the website.
Yeah.
And it is companyb.org.uk. Don't just Google Company B, because obviously you get all sorts of Company Bs.
Yeah, we're
who
normally
aren't
at the top.
bands.
We're fairly at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
But years ago, when
Used to get all sorts
we
of
used to
things.
get all sorts of things from the Second World War,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, so proper companies who were United States Army
Yeah,
and all
there's
the
a
rest
construction
of it.
company in.
There's
something.
a few
Oh, is
company.
there?
We've got a few company bees, haven't we?
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
couple of other company bee people.
Yeah.
What? Not bands though.
Yeah,
Well, they are bands.
well,
Yeah,
Oh.
there's at least two other.
Company B was like a female like pop band in the 80s from Miami,
Yeah.
and they had one big song.
And they recorded something recently, like in the last couple of years, which is "Cruel Summer," which is from the Karate Kid film.
That sounds good.
Do you know what I mean?
What's the new
Panorama,
Karate
wasn't it?
Kid?
No, the original Karate Kid film. You know, like it's like the
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, and it's it's like that's the dance that goes along with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't
So
sing it
good
because
for
it's
Is that
radio.
Bananarama?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah, but they did a
re-record.
cover.
They record this company. We re-recorded that.
Oh, Cruel Summer. Oh yeah, I know the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but there are a couple.
I
But
never realised there was.
but
other
we've
company cheeky.
yeah. Well, they were.
They were
one
originally.
was-
Oh, yeah.
So we're cheeky.
Not cheeky. Then.
But we've got the Spotify artist page, so we've kind of done that bit.
Cool.
So we have kind of owned that a little bit. But yeah.
So, so people need to go on the website to find out about the band. Basically,
Yeah.
They don't know a lot. It's companyb.org.uk. All your gigs are on there, and you've still got loads coming up. You are at Lou Festival on the 20th of September.
Yeah.
And you're in the Admiral Boscarn. I knew
Boscarn.
I'd get that. The Admiral Boscarn.
Admiral Boscarn.
It is an admirable
It is a
place,
place,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. So part of Lou Festival. We've done Lou
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, we've done Lou lots of
several
times, yeah, and
We,
yeah.
we turned up last year, didn't we? Because it was like Lou was cancelled, and then they
Yeah.
had this like thing where
Rescue.
Rescue Lou
Yeah.
Fest. We arrived at me and Matt arrived as the torrential rain
As Drakey was closing the
as they were
stage.
shutting the stage.
It was like, oh.
Oh no! But we were
Yeah.
going to be on the big stage, and we were going to be. We had some quite good gigs at Lou, haven't we? We did the beach.
Yeah.
We were on the beach.
Yeah.
That was good.
On
That
the
was pretty
beach.
fantastic.
Yeah. So they kind of changed all that, but it's building up again, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
really good.
Seems to be.
And there's
yeah.
definitely a real appetite
There's
for
a
that
real
to
buzz,
happen.
yeah.
and
Because
that's
it's
great.
it's
a nice place.
It's a
isn't it?
lovely place.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It extends the season. It's
We're all for
kind
that.
of our final festival.
Yeah,
of the
definitely,
Year.
yeah.
Got the best crabbing in Cornwall.
Oh, beautiful.
That might be
And the best pasty shop in Cornwall.
no.
Is it?
No.
Sarah's
No.
pasties.
No, mustn't.
No.
It is.
No,
It's real good.
we
No.
won't. We'll discuss it.
Is
off
this going to
air.
cause pasty wars?
Yeah, we'll discuss the
A little
pasties
bit.
off air. But the big, first one is this Friday, and then at Cassia Festival.
Yep.
Saturday you're at the Old Ale House, which I think will be awesome. I can't come to either because I'm at knee high.
Yeah.
And it's impossible. You can't be everywhere. I've
No,
tried.
no,
It
it's all right.
doesn't work. And then on the 1st of September, you're trekking off to Sevenoaks
Yeah.
Yeah.
for Camp Wildfire. Then lots of private functions, of course. People book you for.
Yeah, we do a fair bit of that.
Yeah.
We're playing with it's a Rolling Stones tribute in Prideaux Place in Padstow on the 7th of September, which should be pretty fun.
And that's not
That's with
private
the counterfeit.
function,
No,
is
that's
it?
a ticket.
Oh, with the
event.
counterfeit
Stones, which should be really
Nice,
good. Yeah, that's
yeah.
quite exciting.
And then a fabulous looking event, the North Dartmoor Search and Rescue Team 50th anniversary.
Yeah,
in
no,
Oakhampton.
Oakhampton. Yeah, that should be really nice as well.
That's
Yeah,
the 14th of September.
yeah.
And then, as we've just said, Lou Festival on the 20th of September. Then you've got, I saw Pentoon and I thought, oh, brilliant. But it's not, it's a private function.
Yeah.
Wednesday the 9th of October, Falmouth Oyster Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that.
Event Square is fabulous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh no, that's 9th of November, Bar 35 in Bude.
Yeah.
Always a good one in Bude, isn't
Oh,
it?
we love it up in
It's-
Bar 35. It's really lovely.
There's a few places that are like some of our highlights of the year, and definitely Bar 35 gets that.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, Joe and Adam who run it are like lovely, and they just treat us as though we're nice, which we're not, but they're amazing to us.
That's
but
such a lie.
No, but they and they
They're
you know,
lovely.
they're just so lovely to us up there, and it's so
Oh.
great, and it's definitely, you know, because we played Leopoldsha a few years as well. There's like quite a lot of like affection
Yeah.
from the people there to us, which is we're really lucky. We always play that particularly because it's like Remembrance weekend. So we always play Bar 35 at Remembrance weekend, and then
sometime in the beginning of the year as well.
And then, and we try and fit it in again because it is such a great gig, and they do such a great job to try and, because obviously lots of these kind of summery places are a bit dead in the winter.
Yeah, of course they are.
But Bar 35 keeps it rocking, and
never dead, is it?
It's never dead. And sometimes we get there at 8:30 and think, oh no one's going to be here, and then it just fills up. Yeah,
it's funny,
brilliant.
Isn't it?
It's brilliant. Yeah.
And then I got all excited. I thought, Tar and Hale in Perranporth clashes with Torchlight Carnival.
Oh. This is another one of these ones that's been sort of growing for us, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a Independence Day one.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's Thanksgiving, because Independence Day is 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's Thanksgiving.
That's why I looked and
I know. You nodded though. You went with
I
it.
did.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with my guests.
No.
Yeah, so that's a Thanksgiving do where they do like loads of
special Thanksgiving food and
they do like an American menu.
Oh, they really go for it. Then.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
7th of December, of course, we're going into your busy Christmas time. You're at Newquay British Legion.
Yeah.
The private function. 15th of December, you're back on Event Square.
Yeah. In Falmouth. Yeah, it's really good. So.
Is that their like big Christmas bash?
Yeah, they're doing a big Christmas party.
Okay. And then you're in St Austell at the station on the 20th of December.
Yes.
So right back at home.
Yeah, right back at home, playing right at the station. And that was great last year. Played it a few times, but it was really rammed.
Yeah.
And they've got a big. We have to play behind this big wooden screen, which is a little bit weird. I feel like I could not have to wear any trousers if I need.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Be like a newsreader.
We're always glad to be in St Austell, aren't we? Because it's lovely to be here, and it's lovely to play to your local crowd. And there's a lot of people that kind of say, "Oh, you don't play local as much as you used to," but when we do, we're always so glad that people kind of come out, still keep coming out. And
we definitely don't play. Yeah, we don't play St Austell very much, really.
But I don't think you can. I mean, the gigs that you do, like you just said, 2 a year, they're well spread out, aren't they? You can't keep going back.
Well, I think what happens is, especially if you're starting to charge more money, and as I say, we're a 7-piece, and we've got to do it as a job, really. If you start, we have had occasionally summers where we've kind of like packed them in. We've played at Bugle and then Roach and then in St Austell and then Penwithwick, and then
the audience drop
off because they don't want to see you all the time at all, and that's absolutely got to be understandable. And then you've got to kind of do that. It's like when we do stuff at Falmouth, Tim, who books us, says, well, we can't really put you there if you've got stuff,
which is fair enough,
in the same area, so we can't do that. So we we try and play ball because we realise it's a financial thing, and if we play and there's no one there, then they're not going to book us again.
No,
I think we're very mindful of that, aren't we? Because we don't ever. I think something you always said to me was like, we always want to be worth what we charge.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's a really important thing, isn't it? Because if you play in these places, a couple of bad gigs and they'll never have you back, and we don't ever want that. We always want to be worth what we. And always make sure we try and do that as well as a performance-wise as well.
People book you again. I mean, Tim, he'll book you because he knows you're going to draw a crowd.
Yeah.
But it's like all the festivals, isn't it? If they book a headline band, whoever it might be, it might be somebody massive like Muse. They say to that band, look,
exclusivity,
exclusive. Nowhere within a 500-mile radius or something.
Yeah, they'll do countrywide, won't they?
So they have to, and it's only right.
Well, it's just to protect the ticket prices and make it worth the money. It's just finance, isn't it?
So, and then you finish up, then you're in Red Roof on the 21st of December, and then New Year's Eve Gala at the Langdon Court Hotel in Plymouth.
Yes.
Pretty local to me. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, of course,
not so local to me. But
lovely.
Yeah,
it will be a great night though.
Yeah, we've had some lucky kind of New Year's and stuff, and that looks really exciting. So.
And then, of course, we're not going to go through the diary, but they're booked already right up until the 3rd of October, and then Matt said they've got another 3 bookings have come in today for next year, which will go on the website.
Yeah.
But also on the website, you've got all about the band themselves, or personnel as they're called on the website. It is loading, but very slowly, Matt. So, and there's some great photos on there as well, live live photos from when you've gigged. So do people send these in to you and say,
Yeah, sometimes we.
Yeah, sometimes that was yes. So they're just different things really. Sometimes they're ones we've done, and sometimes they're ones that they're just we've collected all these things. We need to do some proper photo shoots coming up. It's just hard to do it. It's really hard to do, to get everything done. We're really lucky because we have got some decent media and some some stuff, and we've got some stuff to sell and all those things. But it's really hard to just keep up on it. And if you're doing it yourself, it's fine if you got.
Yeah, that's it. If you've got, if you just absolutely, if you're just paying people to do it, we're very fortunate in the sense that a lot of people, I'm very lucky. My girlfriend come and take some photos and videos, so we've got some video content coming. There's like lots of the last few gigs. She'll be kind enough to come and film it, and
brilliant.
And so I'll just upload that, and you can often find those on YouTube and on our site and stuff. So there's evidence of us performing.
And then there's the page that's the set list.
Yeah.
So you put this up, and I guess if people want to book you,
yeah.
they can choose the set list. No.
Nope.
No. That is why did you say that?
Sheila? We will sometimes tweak things about, but generally we have had people before saying, "Oh, can you add some pop tunes, or can you do this song?" And it's quite a pain to get them to a point where they sound good.
Yeah.
So this actually, what's on the website is your set list.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of moved things around, so we don't play all of those because there's probably about 45 songs.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs on there.
But yeah, so generally that is our set list. So that is what we play. As I say, things get moved about, but generally it's what we play. It's probably not up to date. We need to add a couple that we do play. But but it's just trying to give people an idea of kind of what we play. Yeah. But it's really hard, if it'll take me, if we do a new tune, it'll probably take me a couple of hours to score it all, for the band to be able to play, and then it'll probably take me, it'll take us probably 2 rehearsals to do it. Probably 4 or 5 hours to rehearse it so that we feel it's good and confident, and then if it's going to be a tune that we never play again, it's no point. So people have said, "Oh, can you learn this for our wedding?" It's well,
and we did do, didn't we? We learnt a few tunes, and then just never do it.
There's no point learning a tune that you're never going to play again.
No. Well, not when you have to put that much effort into
if you're a guitar and vocal, that's easy, isn't it? Yeah. But it's not quite as easy as that. No. We could put money on it, but I don't know.
And obviously you've got the shop
on
the website.
Yeah.
You've got a T-shirt which Matt designed.
Yeah.
Which is
it's an octopus.
It's a septopus.
A septopus. Oh yeah. I can see that now.
Seven suckers.
Writ large underneath.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant design, Matt.
It's a 7-legged creature. Seven
suckers.
7 suckers. It's basically because we're a 7-piece. So that's the idea.
It's very, very nice and very clever, and you've even got a description underneath of what it actually is.
The proper definition.
Yeah.
It's capable of inflicting a lethal bite.
Yeah. Don't want to meet one of them then.
No.
While you're out swimming.
No.
Not in Meva.
Or anywhere.
No.
Also at gigs, a sort of a gig exclusive is we have a Company B car sticker, which we will give away if people will buy a T-shirt or very kindly to us. And if we see them in the wild.
People?
The car stickers. There's
a secret prize.
A secret prize, which is buried in the moors.
So you can get our CD album on there.
Yeah. So you can get the album online,
and
it's just £12, and the Septopus T-shirt is just £15, and you can select your options online.
You can also find our first album, as Matt said earlier, it's out of print. But you can find it on all of the places, and it's available as a digital download. And you can
all the usual suspects then.
iTunes and Amazon Music.
Amazon,
and Spotify and all that.
Audi middle aisle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So go and have a look. But when you go to a Company B gig, take some pennies with you.
Yeah, because we generally like to sell CDs off the stage really, and that's really good, and that gives people a chance to kind of, we always hang about at the end.
They can't get rid of you.
Selling CDs, yeah. That's fine. So that's really good. And
I think it's part of it as well, when the band come down and flog the CD.
Well, I'm absolutely always on the other side of that. I'm always buying band CDs. I've got a plethora of all the bands I love CDs, and there's nothing quite like that experience of like going to see something and then having a tangible thing to take away. And I think that's really nice. I like that for me.
And I still think that there is like an interest in like actually holding a product and having it. I think it's nice on a screen and you can just create your playlist and all that stuff, but I think that I still think opening up, we bought a really big kind of package, so it's got like a big collage of all of our stuff, loads of photos that we've had through the whole time we've been together pretty much in the inside of it, and it's all black and white thing, and it reminds me of a kid when used to open up a gatefold vinyl and just stare at it for... There's
nothing like
absolutely
that. And I always struggle because my eyesight's not so good anymore.
Yes, the CDs aren't as good, are they?
No, you can't, and I always... Some of the CDs I've had to actually get a magnifying glass to actually see all the credits. And it's just, the old vinyl, you just open it up and it's all there for you to read.
No, it's really exciting, and I think, but obviously, for loads of people they've still got nostalgic feel over CDs.
I know.
We bought a big 6-panel thing, and would have been much cheaper to buy a 4-panel thing. But we wanted to buy this thing, and
do it big.
Do it justice, absolutely.
And the inside pockets all like camouflage, so you can't even see it, but you can see it. It's not because
it's not visible.
But it's got a camouflage pattern in it, and all those extra little touches. And I really, really liked all those things when I was like. When I was young, those little extra bits of design and stuff. Yeah,
because there's a generation that's, probably almost 2 generations now, grown up with CDs. And they're only just finding out about vinyl. And going, oh, okay.
And it's really boring.
Quite cool.
And it's really boring when you have to upload your like artwork to like iTunes and to and to other things like that and to like Spotify. Is you basically upload your little square front panel. And I don't really like the look of the square front panel. I like it when it's like part of the thing, part of the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like part of this big thing, and where it opens up and you've got a photo of the shirts that we wear and all.
The CD as a thing is much nicer, isn't it? It's really much more like extravagant, and it does it more justice, doesn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's still exciting, as a musician that's done a few. When you get a box of them, it's still. Exciting. Do you know what I mean? And you go, this is really great, and like looking at it.
I had to go and pick up all the CDs and delivered them to Matt, and it was an exciting day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's good, and it's really nice to do that.
And opening the box. And just the smell. And
we opened the first one, and it's small things, isn't it? But it's really nice.
And interestingly, you talked about the various platforms that people can download and buy the tracks and everything. I do worry about youngsters who just listen to music on their phones because they lose so much in the sound. And I've heard several youngsters lately listening, and I think, that sounds so tinny.
Well, you were saying it earlier about when you listen on Spotify, the compression and all that stuff. There is an element of that loss, which is the amount of time. You think about the amount of time that we spent in the studio recording it, and then you jam it through like a cheap compressor and run it through your phone. It does feel a bit sad, doesn't it?
And you've layered it, and you've got all those massive big sounds.
And it's playing through a speaker that's like an eighth of an inch diameter.
Absolutely,
I often want to say, look, go and put it in a CD player. Just listen to it with the full sound.
Yeah, definitely, and
speakers and
it's weird, isn't it? Because like studio equipment's getting better, but how we end up
listening to it is so much
is
worse.
Getting worse. That's like doesn't really make sense. And certainly we wanted it, to have that, that sound that people would be able to listen and hear different things. And that's why we layered some stuff. There's some really wacky percussion on some of the things. That's really interesting.
Well, I won't download anything. I'm gonna have a CD. Because I just want to hear the whole fabulous sound.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Are we going to play another one, guys? And if so, what shall we play?
Dan,
Well, what have we not had?
Dan's forgetting what's
We've had
on
a
the
lot.
album
We've
now.
not had Pennsylvania.
Let's do either Viva, Pennsylvania. I mean, to be honest, they're all pretty good, aren't they? Really?
Red Brick Dust. That's another one, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll put on Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. There we go. Now you see, I thought that was one that was off the earlier album, but I guess
No,
it's
we definitely have
because
done that. That's old Glenn Miller tune, but it's
it is a classic. Isn't
a
it?
version of it done by Brian Setzer. Yeah, again. So.
Right.
Pennsylvania 65000.
Brilliant. That's amazing. And I've just said to the guys, this one must be really hard to play. And Matt said, they're all really hard to play.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe it's because I'm not good enough. That's
But
probably why.
we were laying praise to John Mitchell, our fantastic
We
drummer,
were,
who
yeah.
you know keeps us strong,
Yeah.
keeps us
Yeah,
powerful.
the Phil Collins of Red Roof
Yeah.
because of the hair. Says I.
No, he's an awesome drummer, and the whole band. You know, as individual units, you're all brilliant, but together.
The only person we haven't thanked and said who's also brilliant is Adam Taylor,
Adam Taylor.
who has been almost every single gig from the start.
From the very start, yeah.
Part of the original team. So original team was Matt, John, Adam, and Martin, and then me and Andrew Blewett came in and took over for Ed, and then Diston Dryber took over from Sean Lloyd, and prior to that, I don't remember the original.
Jamie Barnett.
Yeah, Jamie Barnett.
And prior to that, James Neal.
James
So
Neal.
sax players.
We get through sax players like Spinal Tap get through drummers.
Yeah.
But actually, for the amount of time, you know, since you started, you've not actually gone through a ton of
We've been really
musicians.
settled
You've
for
been
the
very good.
last since
Yeah.
Diston joined. We've been really settled, and that's been great because losing members is really
Savage.
a massive way of going backwards, because instead of being able to work on all the new stuff that you want to do, you have to just
Go back
get
over the
them.
old stuff.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a pain, but I mean we've been really lucky. So certainly the last 6 or so years we've kept the same team.
Yeah.
Which
And
says
it
a
is
lot
a
about the
different-
band as a whole,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, and part of that is keeping is keeping busy.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't keep busy, these people find other things to do
Of course they
because
do.
they
Yeah.
need it. They need
Yeah.
the money. So if you start going, okay, I'm gonna have 3 months here off, you can't do it.
I can remember. I mean, it's for us. It isn't. It's not just about money, is it? As a band, it's about. I remember joining, and I remember saying to you, I would just do this for free. And as much as it's sad, you know,
You took that back quite
quickly. Well, it's because it's given up time, isn't it? But I do stand by that.
Yeah.
It's like that desire to want to be on stage and performing with a good group of people it's really evocative. It has an incredibly evocative feeling, and when there's moments where we're in the set and you feel that feeling of like everybody is just pulling together and we all have this like one goal of doing something to the best of our ability, and that is an amazing feeling up on stage. It's lovely to be sort of.
Yeah, I think for me it was that idea that we're bringing these tunes back, which kind of, and that style back, which has kind of died really, and it hadn't died because you could hear it at places, but you know, you dip into this stuff, you dip into some of these artists' music, and there's hundreds of tunes, and it's for me it was always a really forgotten era of music, because everyone talks about swing stuff, so they always talk about Frank Sinatra, and then they talk about big band era, and they talk about Glenn Miller, and then they talk about rock and roll, and they talk about Elvis and Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis, and it was like right in the middle of all those eras was this weird music that certainly, you know, even if you search on Spotify now, you'll find very few artists that do it. You know, there's a few. Obviously, there's people like Brian Setzer that does it now. There's Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, who I really like from America, who do it, and some other people that touch on it. But really, there are very few that do it and are wild with it. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them have got too much. Like for me, they've got too much like reverence for that time, and for me, it was like those people. When I hear Bull Miss Jackson, I hear Wynonie Harris, all these people. You know, Big Joe Turner, those people, they were like wild. So it's almost like when rock and roll hit, everyone thought it was wild, but it was like tamer than what those guys had done. It just wasn't as commercial and wasn't as white, probably.
And that's what we try and do, is keep it rowdy, don't we?
So we just definitely always try and keep it wild.
Yeah.
So it's got a sense of danger. So it's, you know, those people were punks really, weren't they? So
I suppose, yeah. So did you grow up listening to this?
I liked quite a lot of it. Louis Prima, for me, for some reason, Louis Prima was King Louis from the Jungle Book, did the voice and wrote I Want to Be Like You, which we still play. There were just, I don't know why, but there were some King Louis Prima tunes that I just absolutely loved. And I saw a documentary on him and Keely Smith, who was his wife, and just watched it and just was amazed by his energy. He's Italian, like New York Italian, and was just really mischievous and naughty and amazingly exciting live. And all the Rat Packers, so all of your Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, and Frank Sinatra and all those guys, they would never do a gig with him. They basically blackballed him out. Because they were frightened. Because he was too good and he was too entertaining, and they would be frightened that he would upstage them. So
they were all much. I mean, they were all on a par. They were all great.
Yeah.
You know, they were all on a par, but they were very smooth, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, Sammy Davis Jr. less so. I mean, I really, and obviously Dean Martin was drunk. Most of the times he was pretty level. Some gigs, but yeah. So but
weren't they all on drugs?
Well, I think
some might have been.
I always thought, well, Frank Sinatra was.
Yeah, Dean Martin enjoyed his drink. Yeah, but I think Sammy Davis Jr. There's some really. I think he was more of that kind of stuff was much more kind of linked to comedy as well.
Yeah.
And that kind of like knockabout, fun, slapsticky almost comedy. And there's the videos of Sammy Davis Jr. playing like drums, and he's just amazing at it.
Fabulous.
Just brilliant drummer, and then he plays like some vibraphone or something. Do you know what I mean? He's just amazing. I think that that was an era really where kind of those people had like too much talent really.
Yeah.
But those guys had too much. Louis Prima, great singer, great songwriter, funny as anything, entertainer, and then just when he picks his trumpet up, he's like as good as you want to be anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I was always really in awe of those guys.
But were you very young when you picked up on that?
Yeah, quite young. So that, and then when I was a kid, even then, late, in my teens, I was into more rock stuff. I was learning guitar, so I was into all that sort of stuff. And then you had like people like David Lee Roth doing that stuff, in a really cheesy 80s rock way, but doing things like Baby I'm Easy and Just a Gigolo and those tunes, and that was like, that just made it more exciting for me. Do you know what I mean? So those things, but that big band sound was always really exciting to me.
What about you, Dan?
Do you know what? I didn't know hardly anything about this genre of music, and at some point when Ed was leaving, I got a phone call from Matt saying we're auditioning for a singer, and this is what we do. And I'd seen Company B, I'd seen them play at Leapalooza one year, and it was like just this. I just remember coming back from it and thinking, what an amazing idea! What an incredible idea! And why has nobody done this? And like, it just was a bit. It was almost like larger than life. It had that kind of.
Yeah, because it's almost theatre.
Yeah, well, there is definitely an element
aspect.
of.
Yeah.
We played at Penley Park on Saturday, and it was really weird because they set it up like a theatrical show. So everyone's just sat there watching us, and it's like, then it becomes much more like theatre.
Yeah, and you start to really need to like be a performer, don't you, in that instance? But so I didn't really know a lot about the genre, and the one thing I did know was I knew Minnie the Moocher, the Cab Calloway tune, and I kind of got into that from the Blues Brothers film. That was the extent of my knowledge, and that was it really.
But that was like for a lot of us.
Yeah.
I loved that song. Absolutely loved it. Still do.
Yeah, and we do Jim Jam Jump, which is a Cab Calloway tune as well,
Yeah.
and that's all 30s stuff. And like Reefer Man, which is like amazing tune, which we don't do, but I love it.
So you've just mentioned Jim Jam Jump. Have
Yeah.
you decided on a track?
We can play Jim
Let's
Jam
play
Jump.
Jim Jam Jump.
That one? Okay.
It features
We'll do it in a minute.
features Diston on clarinet.
Fantastic.
Well, no, he doesn't normally play clarinet. Well, he does normally play clarinet; it's his main instrument. But in the band, he doesn't play clarinet, but he plays clarinet on this tune.
Ah.
And this is actually a version from
What's he called? Joe
Jackson.
Joe Jackson, yeah.
Joe Jackson, he did Stepping Out and Is You Really Going Out with Him? He did a swing album, and this is pretty much the version of that swing album. If you get a chance to listen to it, it's really wacky. Joe Jackson's dad was in a big band, and he chose all these like weird New York jazzers, and it's an amazing album, and this is pretty much this version.
Cool. But this is Company B.
Yeah.
With Jim Jam Jump.
Boys, what you gonna say down there? Boys, what you gonna say down there? Palomar, Shalimar, Swanee Shore. Let me dig that job once more. Boys, take it right on down to the gator. Boys, gotta take a side elevator. Can't you hear those headcats call? Come on, boys, let's have a ball. Jim Jam Jump, it's a jumping jive. Makes you do your job on the middle side. Jim Jam Jump, it's a solid jive. Makes you never tall when you poke a fire. Now don't you be that ickle, get help, come on and follow too. When you get your steady fool, make your jump like the gators do. Jim Jam Jump is a jumping jive. Makes you like your eggs on the Jersey side. The Jim Jam jumping jive makes you hip hip on the mellow side. raw eggs on the Jersey side. The jam jam jumping job makes you hep hep on the mellow side.
Jim jam jump.
There we go.
There it is. Big dist.
Big distant.
Now, you are on other digital platforms, Dan.
We certainly are. We've tried to corner every element of the social media that there is possible.
I asked Dan just now what they're on. He said all of them.
We got all of them.
Yeah.
We are at Jump Jive Band on Twitter, which is run by lovely John Mitchell. So if you go on there and at reply us there, I don't know how Twitter works. So through the wizardry, put some words in, and John will send you some words back. Internet.
Yeah, just follow at Jump Jive Band.
We're also on Company B. We're on Instagram, which is at Company B Social. I think that sounds right. And I do that, and I put loads of odd pictures on there of like us backstage or just weird stuff that you might not see. So like sort of, I don't know, more exclusive-y
Photos.
stuff. Yeah.
Slightly worrying that you run the Instagram page, but you're not sure what the address is.
Sometimes he gets confused between his own Instagram and Company B's Instagram.
So I was in Amsterdam. And I was at this is hilarious. I was in Amsterdam and I was at the skin. I was at this museum.
Careful.
We went to this. We went to this. My girlfriend Beth went to this this show, and it's called something like the Skin something. And basically, what it is it's like all of these skinned humans. So they've got all their skin taken off, and it's just all. Honestly, it's really.
Oh, this tour, didn't it? It was hideous.
Yes. Well, I'm really not into that type of stuff because it makes me feel quite ill. But anyway, I went round and I took a picture on Instagram. And I posted it on my Instagram, and then I got a message from Matt about 5 minutes later going, why is there a skinless lady on our Company B social?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
There's something wrong with the guy who did that, I'm sure.
Well, it's a fascinating thing, and it's like a really interesting anatomical type thing, but I did feel a bit queasy going around. It was a bit...
Yeah.
I
remember when that toured over here, that was a
Body World, I think it's called.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. He was he, I don't know, did he pass himself off as a scientist or an artist? I can't remember now.
I don't know.
But I just thought it was gross. Why would you want to go and see that?
Well,
ask him.
Why would you want to go and do that, Dan?
Because it was my girlfriend's 30th birthday, and she said that's what she wanted to do, and as any good boyfriend, I said, yes, dear.
That's a rubbish birthday present.
Well,
She chose it, but it's still rubbish.
I won't.
She chose her own.
It was interesting. It was. It sounds a bit grim. It was quite interesting.
Sounds a bit grim.
It was.
I say so.
It was.
Look
very,
grim on the Company B.
It
Instagram.
did look a bit inappropriate on our Company B page. So that's the sort of stuff you might find.
Didn't it get shut down, Dan?
Well, our Instagram page.
No, not your Instagram page. Well, I don't know.
It might well
do.
do. Yeah,
might do now.
Might do.
Or you might get thousands of people looking at it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to see potentially skinless women, then come to.
I have a feeling that whole thing got shut down over here.
Body
Several
Worlds.
years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting, but yeah, if you are interested in finding what weird stuff I might post on Instagram,
no, I won't be following you. That's for sure.
There you go. But I tend to do things that aren't that.
I'll just stick with the Company B stuff. I don't want anything to do with your weird holidays. Thank you very much.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, so we're on that, and obviously we're on Facebook. We just like
Company B
a week ago or something about a couple of weeks ago hit 5,000
wow,
which
likes,
is amazing, isn't it?
So that's really good. Yeah, it's really great, and it's such a great tool really to use.
Yeah.
Facebook is like, as a band, for someone who's been in bands before Facebook.
Yes.
And wishes that there was Facebook at that point.
Right.
Used to have to make posters and talk to newspapers.
Yeah, you don't have to do that anymore. Just bang it on
hand
there.
flyers out. Yeah, it's great. It's not everything. For people that just rely on it, it doesn't really work for them. But as a combination of things, it's brilliant.
And it does spread, doesn't
Yeah.
it? People like it and share it, and then others like it and share it, so it just goes around. It's brilliant.
We have got some YouTube videos. We've got some YouTube videos we did probably a while ago.
Yeah.
There are like most sort of, apart from this Pirate FM session, there are probably our most professional looking ones, which were done in this public hall.
Yeah.
You can find those on YouTube. if you type Company B, you can find, if you type Company B Choo Choo to Boogie or Company B Good Morning Judge. Is that right? Something else. Yeah.
I'm just frantically typing in the Cassia Festival because I've got about 12 minutes left and we haven't looked at the festival yet.
No, that's right.
So it's a whole weekend then?
Yeah.
Mm.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Fantastic bands playing all weekend.
Starts on Friday at 4 p.m. it says here.
Yeah.
And tickets are from eventbrite.co.uk. I'm just loading up to see if we can actually get the whole lineup.
We're playing 9:30, I think, on Friday night.
So you're headlining.
Yep, very
Friday
lucky
night.
to be. We've had a great. In fact, if it wasn't for the weather, and touch wood, we've had a great potential lineup of gigs this year.
Well, the thing is, early doors in the summer was
amazing.
Fabulous weather.
I know, and then this week
great.
it was ridiculous weather, boiling hot.
It was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
Right, okay, so it's quite a difficult one because there's various pages. If you type in Cassia Family Festival, there's so many different pages. So now I've gone on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to find the lineup, but it's not on there. You're on there. Company B are there.
So I think it's like good old fashioned Lover Boys who we
Sam
saw.
Richardson's on there. Straw
Straw
Dogs.
Dogs.
3 Minute Warning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good old fashioned Lover Bits. It says here.
Yeah.
That must be a new band.
Yeah, that's their sideline.
It's the breakout.
Blue Eyed Candy. Yes. So, and there's plenty for the children to do.
There's acoustic stages as well with different people kind of playing, smaller bands really, but in terms of their numbers.
Yeah, and on the Facebook page, lots of people sending in questions about what's there for toddlers and small children. And there's no single-use plastics. They're doing all good stuff.
But also, it is a family thing. But it's also, there's a gin bar, so so it's not just not just families, but it's certainly family friendly, and that's kind of what they're kind of selling it as. But it's certainly like in the evenings, it's going to get a little bit more
rowdy.
Rowdy, I hope.
Yeah,
it'd be good.
With you guys there Friday night, that's
should be good.
A done deal, and also good old fashioned Lover Boys, brilliant band to end.
Yeah.
So we've got a party band to close Friday and another one for Sunday.
Yeah, it should be great.
Yeah.
Who's in the middle then? Do you know?
Sam Richardson.
Oh yeah, of course.
That'd be good. It'd be great. It's really good.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So we've still got 2 more songs that we want to fit in. This one, I forget who chose it now, but it's Roar.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a massive affection for Katy Perry.
Oh right, now we're getting to the bottom of it.
You have, Dan.
That's not what I didn't. I can't score a song. That's nothing to do with me.
No. I quite like a bit of pop, and we just wanted to do a kind of. It's not very contemporary now, but a contemporary pop tune, and do it as though it was like a 1950s, 40s tune. So we just did it.
Yeah.
It's
a weird one to do, isn't it? And I didn't really massively know it before we did it.
No, I didn't. And when Matt sent the tracks through, I thought, oh, Roar, and then I played it, and I thought.
Ours is very different.
I
to
think
hers.
I've heard this somewhere, but because I don't do pop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
No, likewise.
And I had to ask somebody because I said I think I've heard this song, but I'm not sure who it is.
We introduced it.
Katy Perry. It's quite famous.
Yeah.
That made me feel about this
That's
time.
fine.
So this is Company B's version of Roar.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock around the floor and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. You were pushing me right past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. But I got up, already pushing off the dust. Hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake me down. But I got up, getting ready 'cause I've had enough. See it now, I got the eye of the tiger, the fighter, dancing through the fire, 'cause I am a champion. You're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion, 'cause singing like a B.I. on my stripes. I went 0 to my own hero. But I got up, already brushing off the dust. Hear my voice, hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. But I got up, getting ready 'cause I've had enough. See it all, see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion. You're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion. You're gonna hear me roar. I got the eye of the tiger, fighter, dancing through the fire. I am a champion. You're gonna hear me roar louder, lion, champion. You're gonna hear me roar. You're gonna hear me
Yes, that was quite a famous song, Matt.
Yes, it has been heard before.
Yeah.
It's not, obviously it's not the Kinks, but
No,
it
it
is
isn't.
good.
I've just asked them if they can do a jump jive for Kinks. Matt's not interested.
I like the Kinks. I don't mind them. I don't know
What do you
which
do?
tune.
Layla.
Layla.
That's
Lola.
Eric Clapton.
Yeah, Lola. Yeah. What about Bohemian Rhapsody, buddy?
Yeah, that's the best Kinks song.
He's too young. He's just,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only a little
Um,
pupper.
Yeah, that's Lola.
Lola. I like Lola. It's a good tune. There's quite a few tunes I like.
Yeah. The first band I was ever in, Great White Telephone, was we did loads of Kinks tunes. Yeah.
Did you?
Layla.
Yeah, Layla, Kinks
Layla
tune.
was there, yeah.
What Kinks tunes did you do?
We did like.
You're
Hard
under
Day's
pressure
Night.
now.
Yeah,
Hard Day's Night.
to be honest, I don't know. Yeah, Hard Day's Night.
Satisfaction.
Let it rock.
Back in Black.
Back in Black.
Okay.
Yeah, loads of them.
Right, we've got no time left.
Oh.
It's nearly 10 o'clock.
Oh, it's gone quick, isn't it?
It's flown.
Phone. And I need to remind everybody about Lou Live. These guys are playing Lou Live. But the headliners are on the main stages because you guys are in the hotel.
We're
aren't
in.
you?
We're in.
We want to be inside this year.
We
We
wanna
got a
be,
bit
yeah.
tired of being pulled
Wet.
off the main stage.
Yeah.
So we've got the Shires, Level 42 and Newton Faulkner, Friday, Saturday and Sunday night, and go on Lou Live Facebook page. Also, Little Orchard Cider and Music Festival is coming our way very soon, 13th to the 15th of September. They've got such a great lineup. The headliners are Zootons, Reef, Mad Dog McRae and the Wurzels. And the fabulous bands that we love: Imperial Leisure, King Creature, The Big Sets, Freshly Squeezed, Land of the Giants. Lots of fabulous brassy, noisy
yeah,
party
really good.
bands at that one. You're not on this one, are
We're
you?
not on this one.
They don't ever book us.
We would be on it if they
We would be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they didn't. Oh,
Crying.
bless you. Never mind.
Next
That's
one
alright.
year.
You are quite busy.
Yeah, we will do it one year.
It's not as if you're desperate.
No,
No.
we'll be alright. It's fine. We can't do all of them. obviously.
No.
Can't do everything.
No.
Thanks for coming in. You.
Thank you
That's
for having
alright,
us.
Thank
The
you.
whole evening with you has been great fun. And we've got one more track to play you out with. But before we go, thank you so much, Dan and Matt from Company B, and a big shout to the guys who couldn't make it in tonight. Love your music and
Lovely
love
boys.
the album. Next week it's not Wax, but we will reschedule them. Next week we've got Grip Like Vice, possibly the whole band, definitely Baron Matthews.
Big Baron.
Baron.
Baron with a brand new single, and it's really
Yeah.
rather good.
Cool.
big tribute to XTC, I think. So we're going to play you out with one more track from the awesome Company B. This is Fever.
Indeed.
Fever.
The Little Willie John version, which is also our drummer's nickname for other reasons. No, it's Little Willie John version. Everyone thinks of the Peggy Lee version, but this is the original version, which I love.
It's very different.
And I love his voice on it, and I love Dan's voice on it equally.
Oh, it's because he beamed then when he said that. He was starting to frown a bit.
That's fine. So this is this version, which is quite exciting live because the horn section do stupid dances.
They've got some lovely choreography.
Yeah.
Cool. This is Company B then with Fever, and go on their website companyb.org.uk, buy the t-shirt, buy the album, and go and see them at a gig. There's a whole list. If you look on their diary, they're all on there. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you very much.
And don't leave it so long.
No, we'll try to do another album before we died.
Never know how much I love you, never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a feeling that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, now fever all through the night. Listen to me, baby, and now hear every word I say. No one can love you the way I do, 'cause they don't know how to love you my way. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, now fever all through the night. Bless my soul, I love you. Now take this heart away, and take these arms I never use, and just believe in what my lips have to say. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, now fever all through the night. Come on, boys, blow them horns. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. My eyes light up when you call my name. You know you're gonna treat me right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Hey!
This is 105.6
Beautiful.
RSAB.